Hello, everyone. This is Nick Robertson with TRG Financial, the right choice for all of your insurance and financial needs. I want to talk to you tonight about a very important topic, and that is life insurance. It's not something that, people are calling and saying, hey, I need more life insurance, or people don't want to buy life insurance. People normally don't buy life insurance. Life insurance is normally sold. I want to tell you what we do know in this industry. What we do know that 52 million Americans with households of $50,000 to $250,000 have absolutely no life insurance. That's what we do know. What we do know that is 40% of those who have life insurance feel they don't have enough. And what we do know that on average, the average amount of life insurance is $155,000. And what we do know that 70% of people say they need life insurance. And what we do know that only 59% currently have life insurance. Allow me to paint a picture for you. And I hope that perhaps some of us can relate to this. In America, there's this couple named John and Mary. John and Mary have two children, Brad and Natalie. Brad is 2 years old and Natalie is 3 years of age. So they're not in school yet. They're in daycare. That's an expense right there. John and Mary, they purchased their new home 5 years ago, and they had a purchase price of $250,000, which is now worth, in today's market, 2022, $400,000. John and Mary, they earn $80,000 combined income. They have two vehicles that's worth $50,000. They're currently paying $3,500 a year for car insurance. Their home insurance is currently $1,200 a year. John and Mary have life insurance on their jobs, a total of $30,000. This is their liability situation. These are things that they owe. Well, they have credit card debt of $20,000. They have student loan debt of $45,000. They have car loans of $40,000. And their current mortgage balance is $240,000. So right now, John and Mary owes $345,000. What they have is assets, liquid assets. They have a savings account, $500. 401k, combined $3,000. Their life insurance on their job, if we should count that in the equation, in the event of death, is $30,000. So the total amount of assets, if we count the life insurance, is $33,500. Their total liability is $345,000. Now, we don't need to talk about the pandemic. We don't need to talk about, the chances of people dying. We know people are dying. But people are dying. 46% of Americans are dying and currently have no life insurance. None. So that means you have to rely upon, the family would have to rely upon family, friends, church, community, GoFundMes. And sometimes that situation puts them in a predicament where they have to make a very difficult choice, a very difficult decision. Are we going to bury our loved one, or are we going to cremate them because of the savings? This is a real problem. We have a real problem in America. We owe a lot. We have a whole lot of liabilities, but we don't have anything to protect what we owe. So should John die, the daycare cost is $450 a month. That income that John was earning, that $40,000, it's gone. So a couple things are going to play out here. First of all, they have a challenge in burying John for $15,000. And if they bury John and use $15,000 to bury John. Then we have to find out, does John have any medical expenses? How long was he in the hospital? Additional expenses. Number two is $40,000 is now absent from the home. And even though there may be Social Security benefits, it's going to take a while for that to kick in, nor will it amount to $40,000. So a couple things are going to happen. Mary most likely going to sell the house, or investors are going to call her, and they're going to say, Mary, hey, your house, we will give you X amount of dollars, maybe 50 cents on the dollar, and ask her to quick claim deed the house to them. And then they will flip the house, resell the house for the current market value, because Mary and her children, Brad and Natalie, needs money. So then that means the family needs to relocate, either with family members or an apartment complex where they will probably pay more than what they're paying in rent. It means that Brad and Natalie is in a whole new community. It means that Mary have to move to another community, maybe less desirable community, develop new friends. Now, just remember that the father, the husband, is dead. We're not even talking about the grieving process. And they have to make all these major decisions, meeting with the funeral director, picking out caskets and flowers and arranging funerals and things of that nature, and not having adequate funds. Don't even talk about life insurance. Don't even mention life insurance. Just they need cash. They need cash. Cash to pay the mortgage, cash to pay the car loans, cash to pay the student loans, cash to pay the credit cards, cash to pay the child care expense. Let's not even talk about the educational funds that's going to be needed for Brad and Natalie just to get through daycare, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and or trade school. When you put a pencil on paper, that's a lot of money. Especially if you start off in the hole. In this average example I've given you, they have assets of $33,500, but they owe $345,000. Let's say, well, they're able to sell the house. Okay, that's $240,000 they save. They still have $20,000 credit card. They still have $45,000 student loan, and they still have $40,000 of car loans. So it's at 80. That's $105,000, and they only have 33. They're still short. So you don't have to buy life insurance, but you need cash. You need some cash. John, Mary, John, Brad, Natalie, they need cash. So we start pawning stuff, estate sale, letting cars go. Then we start not paying our bills because we don't have the same amount of flow, cash flow. So now we have a credit issue. So you can see the compounding domino effect. So I want to talk to you tonight about the importance of life insurance, not just from the standpoint of dying, although there is a component that covers death, but there's also living benefits. Number one, in this same scenario, if John was disabled for a period of time, then the insurance company would pay his premiums as long as he was totally disabled. If John had a critical illness, they would pay a portion of that benefit. That's a living benefit. If John was terminally ill, diagnosed to die within 12 months, then John could access 50% of living benefits from his life insurance policy. We're not talking about cash value. We're talking about face amount if he had the life insurance, private life insurance. Those are living benefits. So one of three things are going to happen. We're going to live, die, or become disabled. You want to cover those bases. You can live, die, become disabled. You can't work your way into wealth. You can't work your way into generational wealth. Right? You need cash. You need money. So what do? Option. Well, transfer the risk. The risk is, what's the risk? You're going to die. The risk, you're going to become disabled. The risk, you become terminally ill. The risk. You transfer the risk by paying a small percentage of your paycheck for life insurance. Right? Life insurance. I don't know if you checked life insurance prices lately, whether it's term or whole life or universal life. Doesn't really matter. It's based upon your needs, wants, and affordability and your goals and what you're trying to do. So when you look at your picture, I want you to do this tonight. I want to encourage you to do this tonight. And I know that I'm talking to people who are concerned about their family. I want you to do this tonight. In the comfort of your home, you and your spouse, get comfortable and get a pen and paper and start jotting down some things. Jot down, what do you owe? What do I owe? You don't have to be exact, but a ballpark. What do you owe? Do you owe credit card debt? How much? You owe student loans? How much? Car loans? How much? How much do you owe on your mortgage? Write it down. Totally. And how much do you have in assets? How much do you have in your savings account right now? How much do you have in your checking account right now? What's your 401k balance right now? Any other assets that you may have? Write it down. Total it up. What do you come up with? If your liabilities exceed your assets, you need cash. Not tomorrow, but right now. That's the urgency of the situation, because no man is promised tomorrow. We're here today and can be gone today. That's real talk. That's the reality of life. Whether you're young or middle age or elderly, evaluate what would happen if you were no longer in the picture. Envision how painful it would be for your family to make all these calls and try to make arrangements and try to gather funds and call on family and friends and church members and communities and GoFundMes and whatever to raise money just to bury you. Not for living expense, but to bury you. Challenges. No man or woman should leave their family in that type of a situation. Now, you may have not heard that before from insurance people, but that's the reality of it. I've been in this business for 40 plus years. 40 plus years. And I know what it is. I know what it is to bury a mother. I know what it is to bury a mother-in-law. I know what it is to bury a father-in-law. I know what it is to have life insurance to help take care of those expenses and their other obligations. I know what it is to ring the doorbell of a family, to present them with a check, to make sure that their son and their daughter can stay in that house and the wife can stay in that house and not get 2 and 3 jobs and work themselves to death and lose out on family time and quality time with the children. They're already grieving and don't know how to process it. But life goes on. The reality, life goes on. You got to do what you have to do. But the children cannot process. Why are we moving? I don't understand. Where we're going? I don't understand. Selling stuff. I don't understand. I don't understand why we can't go to McDonald's. I don't understand why we can't have ice cream. I don't understand why we're eating hot dogs. Nothing against hot dogs. I don't understand. I've talked to recent bankers, and they've told me this information, that there are people who are buying vehicles, trucks, cars, $80,000, $70,000, $90,000, cars, vehicles, who have no life insurance. People going out to eat 3, 4, 5 times a week, but have no life insurance. Nothing wrong with buying expensive vehicles. Nothing wrong with going out to eat. But we have to look at priorities. And we have to look at, do we have all of our bases covered? If you should die today, where would it leave your family? Where would it leave your family? If you're a business owner, you're in a partnership with someone else, and would you want their spouse to come in and have equal say in the business, or would you want to buy them out? Yeah. If you're a business owner, self-employed, and you don't have a life insurance, you're the primary breadwinner, the whole world, your family world, is turned upside down. So I want you to pause for a moment. I suggest to you, if I may, to pause for a moment. Deep thought. Take in consideration where you are right now. Where you are right now. If you find yourself short of cash, if something should happen to you right now, then you need to contact an insurance representative. Our agency, TRG Financial, we can help you. Or you can contact whomever you want. The main thing is make sure that you cover all of your liabilities and that you have adequate assets to build for not only this generation, but the generation to come. The Bible says this in closing. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner or the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Proverbs 13:22. So in God's book, a good man thinks generational. He does not just prepare for his children's future, but also for his grandchildren. So I want you to consider what's been said tonight in the spirit in which it's given. I'm concerned about people dying without life insurance. I'm concerned about children dying in the streets, and the parents have no life insurance on them. Life insurance can change your world for the good. When you have life insurance, not only you have life insurance to protect your family, but you have a life insurance company that has the top attorneys to represent and to help to get to the truth of someone who's been killed, someone who has been abused and murdered. They have the assets, and they're going to do an investigation before they pay out $100, $200, $300, or $1 million of life insurance. They get to the truth of it. And you'll see some of the things that we read and see in the news and on TV reducing because the power of the life insurance and the life insurance industry. So I want to encourage you tonight. Take time out. Don't wait. Don't postpone. Don't say this sounds good. We'll get to this. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it next week. I know it's something we need to do. Let me think about it. Let me pray about it. I would suggest to you that you take time out, you and your spouse, and go through that little exercise. And if you find that you have more liability than you have assets, you need to look at one another in the eye and ask them, where is the cash going to come from? Where is the shortfall going to come from? Do you want me to sell the house? What do you want me to get 2 more jobs? What do you want me to do? I think the answer would be no. I think it'd be no. So enough said tonight. I hope that I said something tonight to create to create you to action, calls you to consider where you are in your journey in protecting you and your family. Our country, our nation is currently in a recession. We're currently experiencing inflation. Two things are happening: recession and inflation. And things are going to get worse. 2008, it's going to be nothing compared to what's going to happen between 2022 and 2023, perhaps 2024. Prepare yourself. If you got credit issues right now, I would encourage you to try to repair your credit. I'm not referring you to a credit repair company. I'm saying you repair your credit. I would encourage you to look at getting a will if you don't have a will, drafting a will, some basic stuff that many of us are not doing. So I want to encourage you to do that. Save your money, invest your money, but also make sure you buy life insurance to cover what you don't have cash to cover right now. Take care. God bless. Till next time. Bye-bye.